Oh, hey! Welcome to Unstable Creatures Podcast with me, Selena. Today we are sitting down with a fantastic comic. He is a nationally touring comedian. He is a Orlando Don't Tell producer and runs a lot of shows in Orlando. He's sick. Very funny guy. Today we are going to be talking about comedy. We're going to be talking about movies, mental health, what being famous really does to somebody. It's kind of crazy. Thank you so much for watching. So this is Jarri Knows.
I got chicken, ducks, and roosters on the farm. I'm just bleeding back with Susan the alarm. Johnny ate the grass, he's moving on a bong. Gypsy blisters never sing for long. I hope I'm not wrong, I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not wrong, I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not wrong, I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not wrong, I hope I'm not wrong.
All right, well, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm good, man.
You want to do your noise? You want to
Nah.
You're going to break.
The world not ready for that yet. Not yet.
You're going to break the damn mic if you do that fucking noise. I'm standing outside waiting for him, and he literally is pulling up into the walking, and all I hear is from so far away, and I was like, oh, he's here.
You're the closest one to doing it.
Really?
Yeah, nobody else can.
I used to do that as a kid.
Yeah?
Yeah, I literally used to
freeing about it.
I used to hide under, it is something freeing, because it's like a little bit, it's just weird.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to hide under my sister's beds, and then I would wait for them to relax and stuff, and not think anyone's around, and I would just do the noise.
That's funny.
Or I would be the type to scratch at the walls late at night and make them.
White people shit and go back to, what's that movie with Will Ferrell where he...
Which one?
Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen that movie at the end where he tells his dad some shit and his dad gets serious with him and he's like, no, you have to follow your dreams. Until I was 16 years old, I thought I was a Tyrannosaurus Rex and I used to run around in the yard with my arms up.
Literally.
My dad told me I was gay and then I should stop. And he's using it as and he's running around with his fucking...
No, I used to get beat for doing that, for scaring my sisters, because then they wouldn't sleep at night.
It's so
You're
funny.
inspiring the kids, right?
It's so fun. Do you have
I
siblings?
love the kids. Yeah, I got 5.
You have 5 siblings?
Yeah, I got a big family.
Brothers, sisters?
I got 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay.
But I only grew up with 2 of my brothers. My older brother is what is it, 17 years older than me?
Oh, 17 years older?
Yeah.
Oh my god, so your mom really spaced him out.
Nah, it was my dad.
So it's different moms.
Nah, my oldest brother, he's the only one with different moms, but everybody just has the same mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your dad was like, let me just space him out a bit. Yeah. Space out the women, space out the kids.
Get this one out early.
Okay. Do they like that you do comedy?
Yeah, they do now.
Really? They didn't at first?
Nah, they never disliked it, but it's comedy. Nobody respects it until
that's true.
My dad interrupt Jarri. Actually, do put that mic closer to the way you're...
Did it fall?
No,
Shit.
it didn't. It's just that it's a little bending.
Okay.
Actually, do put it closer to the zipper.
Bet.
It can stay low. It's just come closer to the zipper.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
I feel
leather. What?
I know, right? I feel like an X-Men. Let's go. Boom.
You look like one of the creatures from...
Not the creatures.
Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of Men in Black.
I'm literally
Right?
Oh no, I'm thinking of Alien.
The noise that you make is giving very much the creatures off of Men in Black.
Smith, and I'm still mad. Right?
Oh, you have a little bit of a Will Smith-esque.
Nah.
Would you let someone slap you in the face?
Absolutely not.
Really?
He did the smacking though, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he absolutely smacked the shit out of him. What would you do?
It's so funny that this comes up because I just randomly watched a video yesterday. I swear.
I feel like I see the video once a week.
Randomly, he's weekly,
What would you do if you were on stage and someone just came up and
if I'm Chris
slapped
Rock,
the
we
shit out of you?
squabbling.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd fight.
Yeah, 100. You have to.
Wouldn't care about the cops or
I
nothing.
got a family, bro. I gotta go home at night and look my kids in the face and be yeah.
You have to look your daughter in the face and be like, I slapped somebody.
Yeah. How can I raise a son that's supposed to be tough and I go home and tell him I just let somebody slap the shit out of me.
And there's a video of it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna circulate in 10 years.
Yeah. Win, lose, or draw. We on that stage squabbling.
No, for real. I've never actually been in a fight. I have slapped someone though.
Yeah.
I have Will Smith slapped somebody really hard. It was a girl.
I was gonna say it sounded like a guy the way you were saying.
Well, I've hit one guy, but it was with a frying pan, so it's not. I had a weapon.
That's insanity. But yes, continue.
But yeah, I slapped a girl so hard, and she cried and left the party that we were at and everything.
Why'd you smack her? Because
I didn't really like her to begin with, and she was very weird energy, and we were hanging out in a party, and she slapped my butt unsolicited, and normally, like, between girls, that's cool, but it was just really, I don't know, it just really pissed me off.
You
I
feel
had
like she was
bipolar,
trying
so
to,
I,
like, chump you?
Yeah, and I also, like, was just unmedicated, and I just absolutely, like, I don't know what it was about that just set me off, but it did. Like, I saw red as soon as it happened. I turned around and slapped her really hard.
She had a crush on you and shit.
I was about to say, she just wasn't fine.
Right.
Dudes, we fucking, if a girl hits on me, I want to slap. No, I'm just playing.
I don't know what happened. Like, it was bad, and then I slapped her, and then she was, like, crying, and all these people were like, you need to apologize, and I was like, no, and then she just, like, left, and I never saw her again. I actually still have never seen her to this day. Like, I think to my dying day, I'll never see her again.
She killed herself.
What would you say if you saw her?
I probably would say nothing. I probably wouldn't say. I would probably go. I actually don't know if I would say anything. Maybe I'd apologize. I feel like I've grown up enough. I would be like, you know what? I know what it feels like to be humiliated. So I am sorry that I did that to you. You deserved it, but I'm sorry I humiliated you. Because humiliation's a different. Have you ever been humiliated? Like, what's your most humiliating thing that's ever happened to you?
Humiliated. I don't know, man.
Like, have you ever fallen, like, going up on stage, or, like, tripped or anything?
I'm trying to think. I know I got a good one, because I used to
Shit your pants by
I used to be
accident.
clumsy as fuck.
Used to be?
Yeah, I conquered it, though. I don't know how.
How? I need to learn that. I am so
I just
clumsy.
became, like, more conscious.
Really?
Yeah,
I just started looking where I was going.
I'm just like way more aware of stuff. Like when I was clumsy, I used to just be like, just take the world for what it is. But now that I'm like aware, I was like, I don't really drop shit and I don't really fall.
Dude, I'm bad. I'm so bad with the clumsiness.
I used to rap. That was humiliating.
You used to rap?
Yeah, I used to rap. That's what I was
Go ahead and bring up a freestyle beat.
I forgot. I meant to tell you, put that on the question sheet. You were on fucking
Grind Time.
Yeah.
What is that? I'm not black.
And I know it's her podcast, but I gotta, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was on Grind Time. Bro, I was on Grind Time.
I didn't grow up in the ghetto. What is that?
Bro, people don't even know that Rome from Barstool Sports was up. Bro, they had no idea. Like,
bro, it's funny you brought him up, bro, because I'm about to post that video when he battled DNA. Remember when DNA pulled the bomb out? Bro, I'm about to post that shit because people don't know that happened. Bro, when that happened, I watched that video like 30 times. Over and over and over again.
I'm telling you, 12-year-old I know you're a little bit older than me, bro. When I'm like 12 years old in my little hood ass apartment in Golden, bro, I swear I watched every Grind Time video.
Yeah.
And then when they swing King of the Dot, bro, I was on every King of the Dot for like a minute.
Yeah.
A minute for me to fall off.
Were you like actually killing it?
No, I was.
You were
doing
bad?
Horrible. Yeah, I was doing horrible. No, I could rap. The thing was that
it like roast battles?
Yeah, it was. It was like a rap, like an actual rap. I could rap, but I used to just not write, and then I used to get nervous as fuck.
Wait, was there like a more you like froze and nothing? Like,
I would just like kind of like stutter sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why like stand up is so easy to me because it's like, bro, none of this shit has to rhyme.
Yeah.
None of this shit. There's no beat.
You have to be clever and rhyme.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my god, I couldn't. I was so humiliated.
I used to never write. I used to just go out there like, nah, this is a battle. It's supposed to be off the top of their head, and I just go out there and fucking battle in somebody's whole stories and shit.
Right.
He's got the lyrics in between his fingers.
Exactly.
He's got it written down. Hey, so
Well, Grind Time. Just to explain to you, Grind Time was like in the late 2000s, like 008, 9, and then 2010.
Yeah.
On YouTube, there was something called Grind Time where it was a battle rap community, and there was some. They're not famous rappers now. A couple of them are still rappers, but not like big rappers like Dumbfounded and Wax and like some of the other guys. But like Rome, who is probably like the most successful. He works for Barstool and like he's
he's
pretty
in with
rich now. But anyway, it was just like. It was a big deal. Like if you got on, like, bro, being on Grind Time is crazy.
How did you get on that? Like,
I just reached out to him. I was like 16, and I messaged them on MySpace, and
hey, Bookie,
and they were just like, yeah, come out, you rap, because I had like music and shit on my page and shit, so they like listened to my songs and shit.
Were you living in Orlando at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
So so I just went out there. I was by myself, a little 16-year-old kid out there just battling.
Were they like, oh, you're good?
Yeah, like it was cool. Like when we were ciphering and shit, everything was cool. But then when the battle started, I would just like fuck up, bro.
I would be so scared,
bruh. Like that shit like killed my ego, bro. I kind of feel like it was like it was a blessing. For that shit to happen to me so young because like I really don't have an ego, and I see like so many people where that's like their problem. Yeah. And it's funny like being around people like that because like the shit they normally pride themselves on is shit that I did like 15 times already. Yeah. So it's like, damn, if you're supposed to be the shit for doing that how should I feel about myself?
Yeah.
Good thing I don't have an ego. You know what I'm saying?
You are very humble for like, you know, all the stuff you have going on and all the things that you're doing.
No, I've done
like,
mad shit, man.
Yeah.
I be like, I deleted like all of my Instagram when I had my daughter. Just on some just like, all of this shit is just over with.
I'm a dad now.
Yeah.
My life is ruined.
So many people kick it just to brag and like talk about shit. And I remember one time, like one of the first times I ever met you, we saw you at Chronic, and then we left, and then I watched your story on the way home, and I was like, he was in Austin last night. And he's just chilling outside Chronic.
But then my idea is I asked him to do the pod, and he goes, nah, and leaves me on red for 5 minutes.
I felt so bad that you thought I was serious. I was like, damn, what type of person do you think I am?
He let me sit in that for 5 whole minutes, and I screenshotted and sent it in. I said, I fucking told you, like, I knew this was gonna happen.
I thought the period was gonna be a dead giveaway. I put a period after an I. Like,
that makes it worse.
Yeah, that's why it's the giveaway.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I was like, no. I literally reached out to him. I texted Jake, and I was like, no, I told you this was gonna happen. Like, this is so embarrassing.
Crazy.
What do I do? How can I financially recover from this? Like, I'm so upset. And then you were like, I'm just playing, and I was like, is he though?
I know you ran shows and stuff, so you probably a little bit. But when you run a podcast, though, you'd be surprised how Hollywood people are, bro.
Yeah.
Like you got way more motion than some people who really think they're like doing something like that. I message people all the time to schedule for the pod, and they're like acting like crazy.
It's because they're nervous.
Bro,
Yeah, it is because they're nervous.
They know they're not like we're gonna see the real them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. I guess I understand that too, because like for me it's not nervous because it's like it's my house, it's my pod, so I don't feel nervous. But I understand from other people's perspective, like they don't barely know me and like they're coming to this and like doing a podcast.
It's part of the job though.
Yeah.
When you're traveling and doing comedy and shit, you're gonna have to like go on a news station and talk to people and, like this is like
that's
training.
how I feel too.
You
I'm
better
like,
be
you've
training.
gotten up in front of 50 people. Like what is me? You know what I mean? Like, but I like to have people on that like just to talk about life and like comedy and not comedy, other shit, like whatever's going on, because I feel like it's important for people to like have a platform to be able to say stuff. You know what I mean? And yeah, you really scared me with that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that was funny.
I was gonna go outside. I was gonna screenshot and post it on my story. Tag, he's not what you think. He's not what you guys think he is.
That's funny.
I would have sent it to Cam and been like, "This is all going down, brother. I will tear everything you've built down."
That's funny.
So funny. Well, yeah. Speaking of that, so how's been going on the road with Cam and shit? How's that going?
It's been going good, man. It's it's just funny, man. Just being inside the machine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Seeing like what the comedy industry really is and how much of the game I just had fucked up. Like you think it's one way and it's really like, nah, bro. Like you're overcomplicating it. Just do comedy. Yeah. You know what I mean? And be seen. You know what I mean?
That's crazy because you're going like all over the country and shit. How has that like affected your mental health?
Yes.
Really? Like good. I'm sure it's like good and bad, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of weird, man. Like, how can I put this, man? It's weird. It's like being in two spaces at once because I have like my life here in Florida and then my life on the road, which is like Cam, his dad, his sister, his friend Joel, and the cameraman Corey. We're just like a cast. It's like the real world. And we're just fucking traveling around and shit. It's like but yeah, I have like this thing about like time. Like I don't like being pressed for time because on the road we're just gotta be here. Gotta be here. So when I'm home, just like, man, if I get there on time, if I show up at all, cool. But you know what I mean? Like I'm not that shit. But it sounds like I'm complaining, but I love it. Like I love it. It's everything I asked for. You know what I mean?
It's like one of those things I hate whenever people like. Because I see all the time all these TikTokers that like get on TikTok or like comedians that do podcasts and stuff and they're crying and like, you know, having breakdowns on the internet because that's their life, you know, and they're talking about the reality of being in front of people all the time and like hate comments and posting reels and being, you know, doing shows with hundreds of people. And they're constantly criticized for saying, like, people are saying like, well, you're doing this. This is your job. You chose this and that. And I feel like that's so fucked up. It's not a safe space for people to talk about the negatives of what it does for your mental health and like how it affects you as a person. A lot of people gain weight. They feel worse about themselves. Like they're not making as much money. They're always holding themselves to a higher standard. They don't get to see their kids as much. Like there's so much shit that comes with it.
There is that thing in the industry where it's like, oh, I have to get better. I have to build my following. I have to grind. I have to be more than what I am right now. But like, I'm content in a way because like I was kind of talking about it on Alice's podcast. Like, I've done things like outside of comedy that I'm confident where if this shit crashes and burns, I'm not gonna starve. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna have to get a job. I'll just figure some shit out. You know what I mean? But and that's kind of, I don't know, that's like a whole nother conversation. But yeah, like I mean, I'm grinding with comedy and pursuing it and all that kind of
of course,
and going as hard for it as I can. But I don't have that same kind of like crash out anxiety that people have where it's like, if I don't do this, I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, bro, I'll sell cars again. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, Toyota, what's up?
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I feel like that's something that's very apparent with you though, is that you are really content with where you're at, and I think that's such a positive thing. I feel like a lot of people don't have that. Like, and I understand people always wanting more. Everybody wants more money, more fame. Everyone wants that. But I think it's so important to be content where you're at and like happy with what you're doing. And that shows, at least for me.
I feel like if you're like one of those people that's just like dying to like be more than like, you're at the mercy of everybody that's around you. Somebody can just come across and be like, hey, you want to be on Wild 'N Out? Come sit on my couch. You know what I mean?
Or like, Kenan Thompson can be like, hey, if you pay $1,000 a month, I'll make you a famous comedian.
That's how people get got. But again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying before. It's like when I like just having no ego is like it comes with like this huge content where it's just like, I know like what I do and what I don't do and what I'm capable of. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm cool, and hopefully
I feel like it's also like a sign that people don't really love what they're doing. They love the idea of it. They love the idea of being rich or being famous, but they don't love comedy or they don't love music or whatever it is. Because I feel like if you're constantly chasing for the next thing and you're never happy with what you're like where you're at, you don't love what you're doing. You just love the idea of it.
Exactly.
You know, you love being talked about. You love being the center of attention, but you could give two shits about comedy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's kind of how I feel about people that are like that. How long have you been doing comedy for?
I started doing comedy in 2012.
2012. Okay.
And then I started doing it for like maybe 2 or 3 years. And I was selling out my shows 200-300 people. And I'm just like, it's coming. Yeah. The comedy clubs are going to be calling and all that kind of shit. And this is before sponsored ads. So you have to have an actual following of people actually knowing you. Yeah. And like that was happening, and then like comedy just like went nowhere. You know what I mean? So I started getting into like the nightlife and just throwing parties and making like really good money off of that. And I was just like,
you were throwing parties?
Yeah,
what kind of parties?
A club promoter. I was promoting like pretty much every club in Orlando.
Like, is it those parties that like I see with like those posters that are like, you know, bright blue and pink lettering with like the girls on it?
Oh, man, coming to dinner.
Yeah. Okay. I've actually never been to a party with that kind of flyer.
Yeah, nah. I mean,
I'd love to go.
it was cool when we was doing it. It's like a whole nother thing.
It's always like the prettiest butthole competition wins $2,000. It's always crazy shit. I'm serious. It's always like whoever has the tightest thong wins $500 from Man and DJ Khaled, and I'm like, what? I'm serious. You know what I'm talking about.
Strip clubs are like, some clubs do it, some clubs don't, but strip clubs always do it.
Yeah,
and they're like, hey, we're having a foam party with fluoride in it, brother.
They're just straight up with it. Like,
they could have a stripper for 2 weeks and they got a birthday flyer for that bitch.
Yes.
4 months.
Throat goat competition. Like,
that
is somebody's daughter, bro. Relax.
Dude, it's bad. I literally see them all the time. And you were making money from doing those? Oh, because people pay to get it.
Yeah, bro. I was making so much money off that shit. Because, I mean, if the club holds 600 people and I'm charging $20 to get in on a Saturday.
And if 600 people were going?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
And, I mean, I got to pay the DJ and then break it down with my boys and shit. But everything after that. I had a Saturday that I was splitting 50-50 with another, like, promotion group. Shout out to Keep. And the worst night I had there, I was making $1,500 on a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? And then I still had 3 other parties throughout the week. So I'm like, fuck this comedy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're like, I'm just trying to make money at this point.
Exactly, bro. I'm like traveling the world and shit. I'm like,
that's actually crazy. I forget that type of shit exists and people like really do make a lot of money.
It's very a niche thing because the more other cities I've been going to, I'm like, all right, who's the promoter here? Because we need to like set up an after party. Like, promoter? What are you talking about? Just call the club.
It creates other business too, because like at the strip clubs, like one of my friends is a house mom, and she makeup and like they got so much money coming out of it just from so many different ways. Like,
because of the network.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
the first time I actually genuinely ever heard about that, you know Ralph Barbosa, the comedian.
Yeah,
you know his friend Jaime that he like, you know, brought into the scene, and now he like is on random podcasts and shit. I love him so much. But he used to do that, like DJ and like run parties and stuff, and he was like talking about how much money he made and stuff from that.
Bro, it was dope. We were booking rappers and shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I do parties with...
Are there any rappers that you booked that like are now famous?
Yeah.
Who?
We were booking them when they were famous.
Big X?
You said who?
Big X the Plug.
No.
It's actually, you know, my dream to me is Big X Plug and Mexican OT. That's like my dream to me.
I was thinking that same thing. Like,
bro, if I could meet Mexican OT, I'd go crazy. I would be at one of those prettiest butthole party wins $1,000, dude. I'd be there because he throws those kind of parties. I
don't know why they haven't booked him here in Orlando.
Me neither. He was literally in Austin like the week before we were there and just chilling at the bar that's right across from Poor Choices, the Chupacabra bar that's right there. Mm-hmm. He was literally there, like, there's pictures and videos of him, and I'm like, dude, I would have killed. Yeah. I love him so much. What kind of music do you listen to mainly? I don't want to
mostly
assume,
rap, but
okay. Yep.
The parties we were throwing, I had a Spanish party and then rap party. So we would do Spanish on Sunday.
Like Latin music and stuff. Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
It was crazy. They got
Soy Peor Sundays.
Huh? What was it called?
That Bad Bunny song.
Soy Peor Sola?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hell yeah.
That's great.
That's actually fun.
That sounds fun.
I used to get on the mic and just talk shit in Spanish. That shit was
He's
fun,
on Duolingo. Yo soy pero sola.
Yo no quiero agua. All that shit.
That's hilarious.
Hell yeah.
You were going to like Miami doing
it? Huh?
Were you doing it in Miami?
Nah,
like South Florida?
Just Orlando.
Yeah,
just Orlando.
It's enough out in Orlando to know Spanish.
Yeah. Have you been in Orlando like your whole life?
Nah, I was like half and half.
Where were you?
Akron, Ohio. And then
Ohio?
Yeah, Ohio.
Okay.
Which is so ironic that I was throwing a Spanish party because when I grew up in Ohio, there were no Hispanic people at all.
Was there even black people?
Yeah, there were black and white. Black and white.
Really?
And a couple of Chinese sprinkled in.
Really? Yeah, Chinese, black and white in Ohio. I've literally never been to Ohio. Yeah. It explains your like weirdness though.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of weirdness in you. Like you're just a little bit quirky.
A different frequency.
Yeah, and that explains it. The Ohio, you left Ohio, but the Ohio has not left you. That little pterodactyl noise, that's straight from Ohio. Yeah. That doesn't come from Orlando. The fit is Orlando. The fit is Orlando. The noises are Ohio.
See how the farther away from Cleveland you are, the less you know how to make that noise.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Why'd you move to Orlando?
I just came down here with my family.
Okay. Yeah. You have your mom and dad seen you do comedy?
Yeah, they saw it. They liked it.
They like it?
Yeah, my mom wants me to be like more like Bill Cosby and shit, of course, but
Bill Cosby? She wants you to be like Bill Cosby?
I mean, like comedically.
I don't know if she wants that anymore. Comedically, Bill Cosby was pretty funny when he was a comedian. He was kind of killing. But you're very much not
exactly
Bill Cosby.
It's not happening.
It's not happening. So how did you get mixed up with Cam? Like, how did all that happen?
Just this comedy thing.
Like you were doing comedy in Orlando, and then he started doing it, and that's kind of how y'all linked up.
Yeah, he was doing it, and he was telling me about how he wants to like go hard for this shit. Yeah. And this is when I like locked back into comedy because I had locked into it. I want to say like 2021. And then I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna do this comedy thing, this is gonna be my last push doing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And then that's when Cam had popped up and he was saying how he wants to go hard for it. And he said something to the effect of like, nah, I'm gonna go hard for it. I'm like, yeah, me too. And he's like, okay, we'll see. He didn't say it in those words, but that was like, I can't remember exactly what he said. So then from there, it just became like the gym to me. It's like, you going today, right? All right, yeah, let's go get some reps in. You want to do this comedy shit, right?
Yeah. Sometimes that is how you have to look at it because there are like plenty of times where I don't feel like going or I'm like, I don't want to go because I clearly don't go to the gym. But I was like, I really don't want to do this open mic or I don't want to do this or do that. But if you put yourself in that mindset, it makes it a lot easier.
It's crazy, man. You really have to do it. That's one thing that I didn't understand when I was first starting. When I first started doing comedy, it was just literally just me. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have friends doing it. I didn't know anybody doing it. I didn't grow up wanting to be a comedian. I didn't like have these like icons I look up to and shit. You know what I mean? It was just like I'm just doing this because I'm good at it.
Yeah.
And then that's why it was easy to stop doing it, because I'm like, nah, I'm making money doing this shit.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like whenever you're in certain parts of your life, money is more important. So it's like,
Right.
if, you know, comedy's not making me money, then...
And it was my first time making, like, decent money. Like, I was working, like, fast food and call centers and shit.
Yeah.
So now that I'm making money where I don't have to worry about, like...
Oh, you were making money off comedy right off the rip?
No, I'm saying, like, when I was doing the parties and shit.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that I feel like I've heard so many people say that changes their mindset when they like get the first like, oh, I'm making real money now type of feeling. Whether it's anything, they're like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how that works out for some people, because I've never like had that. I haven't had anything that's like, oh yeah, I'm making real money. Like I had a sales job that was kind of, but not even close to like.
That shit was crazy. I was just traveling everywhere because I was like, I've never been on a plane till I was like 26.
Really?
Yeah, and then once I hit, I was like, bro, we're going everywhere.
Yeah. Do you like flying?
I hate it now.
You hate flying?
Bro, it ain't even so much the flying. It's just dealing with the airport. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I know. They're crazy.
No, they treat you like shit.
Really?
They treat you like shit, bro. It's insane. Every airport, bro. Like if you deal with somebody who's like nice to you, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Why y'all can all be like this?
In sales, I mean,
it's crazy because they do not care about you.
When I see people that are like mean, I'm like, oh yeah, like you think I'm never gonna see you again, but you
exactly.
live in my hometown. Like I'm around here. The airport, they are never gonna see you ever again. They don't care. They really don't.
You know, TSA workers are crazy.
I want to ask you a question. You were talking about like traveling, like with Cam. I just wanted to know, out of how many days of the month would you say you're on the road? Like if you had to say like out of town, what's your monthly? Like how many days are you out?
16.
Whoa.
So like half the month you're pretty much out.
Like you go for a weekend and come back. Okay, cool. Sorry.
So it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'm here.
One more thing, I'm sorry, I know I'm yapping, but I just have. Also, just because you were talking about reps, and I love that you said that, have y'all ever seen that video of Cat Williams when he's in the back of the taxi and they're recording him from the front? And he's like, the reason y'all motherfuckers ain't good is because y'all don't treat this shit like a job. He's like, I treat this shit like my job. I gotta go every night. I don't give a fuck if I'm sick, dude. And he's like, bro, and it gave me that same kind of energy because it's like, if you have somebody to bounce that off of, like you explained it like the gym, same thing, bro. Like you just have to do it like that. And
because too, like aside from like getting good at comedy and all that kind of shit, like you never really know who's gonna be there, man. Like
I know,
it's like the lottery for real. You know what I mean? And a mistake I made when I was first started doing comedy in Orlando is I never hung out at the Improv. I never went up there because I was just like, if I'm not booked, why would I go?
Yeah.
But like people just hang out up there and then they get thrown on the show or they're just showing face or whatever. But it's like, one thing I'm leaving out too is like I didn't go straight from doing comedy to throwing parties. I was working in the club too. I was like barbacking and shit. So like I couldn't even be out because like my shift starts at 8. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't.
And now I gotta go wash dishes.
Right, exactly. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's videos of me when I left in the middle of my shift because they had like this little room downtown where I just left in the middle of my shift and just went and did comedy like my uniform and shit.
In your Wendy's hat.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually hilarious. No, yeah, I feel like a lot of opportunities come from just being like around all the time. And like people don't really realize how taxing that can be, is like you have no nights at home where you're just chilling. It's like constant, I'm going here, I'm going there, and it really does benefit you to just like hang out. And I feel like I made that mistake for a long time too, and I still kind of do sometimes, where like I don't really hang out as much as I probably should, but I also like am not the best at like talking to people and like cutting up if I don't know them. So it's like I feel awkward, but it benefits you to just hang out with people and like be around.
It really does, man. And I messed up on that a lot. Another mistake I used to make too when I first started doing comedy, I used to bring like girls with me to like open mics and shit.
Oh my god.
So I was the guy. Yeah, I was the guy that would show up, sign up, duck off in the corner. Yeah. Oh, it's my turn to go up. I go up, do my little thing, and then leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Literally.
Like,
literally.
That's not a winning formula.
Yeah.
Type shit.
Yeah, that's like a mistake I feel like I've made a couple times too, or like, you know, people that like you're bringing with you that just don't really care about what you're doing, so then you care less because you're around people that just don't care.
Exactly.
And whenever I first did comedy ever, I was dating someone that literally told me to my face, this is so cringy, this is the weirdest thing anybody could do, like this is so stupid, it's dumb, like all of that stuff. Yeah. And so it made me feel like, yeah, it is stupid and dumb. So I did like one open mic at Pineapples, loved it, and I didn't do anything for like another year and a half. Like I just stopped doing it because I was like, it is cringy. Like, and I let that convince myself that it's dumb and whatever, but it's not, and I love to do it. And so, yeah, that is so true. I hate whenever people like bring their girlfriends or like this girl that they're talking to, and then like you never see them again. Like, and you see them at the next open mic and it's a different girl, and I'm like, okay, the last one was blonde and skinny, and this one's Hispanic and has a big booty. What's going on here? Like, what's the deal? What's the vibe?
Trying to show off and shit.
That's so funny. Literally trying to show off.
Yeah.
What do you feel like are some of the negatives that like, you know, the shift, because I know that you like were doing shows and stuff, and then you started to go on the road, and like your followers and just all of that has kind of taken off fairly recently, right? Like it hasn't been for a while. So what do you feel like is like the negatives and positive of that?
The negatives is just being away. That's pretty much it. And just dealing with the traveling and shit. I gotta get better, like, cause I don't know, I just used to like really be on top of like my working out shit and all that shit, because I used to play basketball. But I got to get better about that, because it's so easy to just eat like shit. Yeah. Because you get free food most of the time, drink. I'm trying to slow down on the drinking. Not that I have like a drinking problem, but it's just like, you got to like start being mindful of the shit, because when they put it in front of you and it's free.
I know. You know what I mean? That's like, the hardest part.
It's easy to get caught up in the sauce, but I'm the type of person, like, I just look at other people's mistakes and just try to learn off of those, and so I don't have to go down that same road. Yeah. The positive is like, man, I got so much better at comedy. Like the way that I got better, it just makes me look at how much I had the game fucked up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that like,
you knew all the shit.
Yeah, I thought like, cause I've been like a strong comedian or whatever, but like I could have just always been so much better. All I had to do was just do it more. Yeah. I would just have these, cause I treated it like rap. It's like, I got this joke, I got this premise, and I got this punchline, and they're gonna laugh. They laughed, okay, I got the job done. Yeah. But there's like so many layers to it, and like my stage presence, my cadence, how I come across, my act outs, all that kind of shit is like shit that I never even like gave too much thought of, because it's like, no, my joke is good. Why do I need to, act it out? They heard what I said. They laughed, you know what I mean? But it's like,
especially when you start reaching times where you're like on stage for longer than you've ever been, and then it becomes a consistency where you're like, okay, I'm doing 30-minute sets like every week, you know what I mean? And that like to me, that changes everything, because going even from 10 minutes to 20 minutes is a big difference, and you feel that difference. Time, you feel that shit, and so it's like it makes things more difficult.
It's the beats, man. It's the beats that I've been on. That this is a world exclusive. And like, I got Cam on the shit, I got like the whole crew on the shit. It really is the beats. Like, everything is always the beats, and I be fucking with them because like I got this thing that I be doing where I just like predict shit. Yeah. Like, if we're about to go into a place, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna say this, they're gonna say that, I'm gonna say this, they're gonna say that, and like,
and then it happens.
It goes exactly. It's the fucking beats, and it's like that with comedy, and I'm getting better at it. Like, outside of comedy, I'm just getting better at just like knowing what the shit is. But the more I do comedy, I'm just like, man, this shit is crazy, because like, to be able to like think of something and just be like, and then when I go out there and say it, 300 people are gonna laugh. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's starting to become something else. Like, it's beyond just being funny. It's just like knowing like what to do and what to say and how to say it to get certain reactions out of people. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I just mastered my set better. Like, I move certain jokes around. I used to, like, years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, I had this opener. I was going through this phase where I was just like writing like dark jokes, and it wasn't on purpose. It was just like, it was just where I was at. Yeah. And I used to open with this like super dark joke, and it's funny or whatever, but like, I put it at the end of my set now, and it does so much better. Yeah. People used to hate it. They used to be like, why would you start like this? Yeah. But it's just like, it's the set order, bro. Like, it's like, it's a rap. Like, your flow. My flow was off. Yeah. I'm starting it off like weird. You know what I mean? Yeah. Put that shit at the end as like the conclusion.
Do you feel like you struggle taking like criticism from people?
Not at all.
Not at all. You enjoy that, and you like.
I like criticism that makes sense. You know what I mean? And I'm not sensitive, especially when it comes to comedy, because like I said, I don't have an ego. So if like, I'm never like insecure, like, oh, I'm not funny, you know what I mean? But if it makes sense, I really like it, because I'm like, oh shit, you're right. And then when they're not right, it's just like, either you're hating or you're stupid, because that's not, you know what I mean? That's not what I was saying, and that's not what I was going for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it's like, oh shit, I didn't even look. I love that shit. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
I feel the same way. I think surrounding yourself with people that are just better at you than comedy, at comedy, like people that are just better than you at certain things, and constantly surrounding yourself with those kinds of people, you're never going to get bad advice because they're doing a lot better than you, and they have something that you want, or you know they've mastered something that you haven't yet. I think I struggle with criticism a little bit because I hold people to such a high standard, and I want the criticism that I'm getting, I want it to be from people that I think are right. You know what I mean? And I struggle with like, you know, if someone gives me advice about a joke or like, you should do this, should do that, and I don't think they're good at comedy or as good as me. Yeah. I struggle with that. But that's also a fucked up perspective too. You know what I mean? That's egotistical, and I don't like that about myself, but it's just the truth. Like, it's how I feel.
There's some people that are like bad at comedy, but they understand comedy.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I try to like keep an open ear. But sometimes, like, I don't like giving out people. There's this thing that people do sometimes where it's like, if I give somebody an advice and it's really good, instead of them just being appreciative of it, they just look for something to like criticize me on. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because
like, okay, well, you actually
exactly. It's like, bro, I'm not trying to do like a trade off tit for tat kind of thing.
Hey,
you know
so
what I mean?
2 sets ago, you actually stuttered when you said your punchline, and it ruined everything.
Type shit. It's just like, okay, bro, you got me. You got me. Oh, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But that's why it's like I just don't give advice to people for real, because like if I give somebody advice, it's because I really care about them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like,
I feel like I don't like giving people advice only if they ask me for it, but I don't like giving people advice because I feel like I'm not the one to give advice. You know what I mean? Like I haven't been doing comedy for that long. I'm not good. Like I don't want to be the person that's like, oh, you should do it like this. You know what I mean? Because I just don't feel like that's my place. If someone asks me, but
you don't think you have good taste? Just in general?
I feel like I do, like, for...
That's all that matters.
Yeah, but I also am not that good at comedy, so I feel like I can't give people advice.
According to who?
According to me and a bunch of people in the Kill Tony comment section.
Bro, that shit is the devil, man. I'm telling you. I be telling everybody, bro. Like,
do you get hate comments?
Nah, not yet, but if I did, I don't think it would bother me.
Yeah. Everyone says that until it happens.
Nah. I mean, I was getting hate comments during the rap shit.
Yeah.
Primetime comments were in the Wild West.
Yeah. I feel like too it's different because you like have a constant ongoing presence. Like when it's something like Kill Tony or, you know, anything, even if you're like on a festival or something, just a one-time boom, then it's obviously like comes out of fucking nowhere. And nothing will ever prepare you for that. I see what you're saying. You know, and then obviously it dies down because like you had your literal 1 minute of fame. So it's like, you know, I think nothing would have ever prepared me for the hate. And that's something that scares me. Like, I know that this is what I want to do, and I would give anything to be a famous comedian and be successful and rich and all these things. Yeah. But the other side of it is like, fuck, dude, if that's what that means, I don't know if I could handle that. I genuinely don't know.
I don't know if I'm going to read the comments. I think that's how
I just turn them off?
Yeah.
I'm turning off the comments.
I think that's how I'm going to just avoid that whole thing, because I feel like if you read them, it takes your powers away. Like, you become, like, insecure.
I'd rather just live in my delusional bubble. Let me stay there. Because I would pay someone to do it.
Like, it's about the delusion, because what you're talking about with, like, when you go up and you're just like, nah, I know that I'm about to make these people laugh. It's because you know well as everybody else that you're funny, bro. Like, if you go up there, you know, okay, as long as I hit my cues and I do what I do at open mics and to other people,
it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time. People are going to laugh. And if anybody's hating, or if anybody's saying they're not, they're hating.
Right.
And then the people that are on the opposite side of that, like people who literally have never killed a set in their life. Like
always got the loudest mouths, too.
They might get some chuckles, but they've never had laughs per minute in that range. That those people are the same on the opposite end, where they're like, they know they're about to bomb, and if they don't say that, then they are truthfully delusional. So it's the same thing as if when you're on the other side and you know you're funny, but then you get scared because it's over 100 people or whatever it is. You're just delusional. Just get up out of there. You know what I mean? Do what you know what I mean? Like,
I feel the same way. I think it's like it definitely changed me, bro. Like I'm so serious.
For the good or bad?
For the bad. Like it really did. It obviously Well, there's two sides of it because, like, the whole experience obviously helped me as a whole. Like, being on the show in general, like, all of that stuff happening is going to make anybody feel good, especially when you do well. And people that you respect in comedy say positive things about you. That's always going to make you feel good. It's always going to be a validation. But the hate comments and like the Reddit forums and the DMs and the constant comments and just seeing random clips of me on Facebook, you know, watch random stuff. And there's 300 comments of people just being insane. Yeah. It definitely fucks with you.
That's kind of like the thing of Kill Tony though, is that like their audience is haters.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the thing. That's like the brand of like, oh, we hate on, we like seeing people bomb. We go to shows and boo people. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's what I like, had to tell myself is like, Selena, you signed up for that and that's what you wanted. You know what I mean? And it's a blessing, but it's also like, I had to go to work the next day. You know what I mean? I know, right? I'm literally getting on the plane for TSA workers that are like, take your fucking shoes off. And I'm like, do you know who you're talking to? I literally am clocking into my 9 to 5 and I'm like, do you even know what just happened to me?
Oh no, she couldn't be Hollywood for 3 weeks. That's the thing. They don't release anything. So regular life, and then a month later, she's like, oh bitch, guess what?
No, literally. It's so funny.
Because she says that, but I swear to God, it's that same undeniable, don't be delusional with yourself. I got video proof. She walked out the back of the fucking mothership and she was like, I just killed. You can't even tell me I didn't. Because Tony told me I killed. So you can't even, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and
that's the reality. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That internet shit is something else. I tell Cam that shit. I tell Cam that shit all the time because he be reading negative comments too. I'm just like, bro, that's you're going to lose your powers.
He was getting tore the fuck up.
Dog, that's like that's what they do though. That's like the Kill Tony brand.
His ass was getting ripped to shreds.
He built it on that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Lucas and all them, bro. Like,
exactly.
You can say it's whatever. He's a roast comic who writes roasts. He puts people up like Cam and David and all the people that just were shit on him. Of course, people are gonna be in the comments.
Yeah,
like,
bro, he was.
It's like it's like wrestling though. My bad. That's why you can't take it personal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
it made me feel better though because there was one episode of KT where Cam was talking about the comments that he was getting and was like being so for real. Like, no, this shit's fucking me up. Like, I'm so serious, bro. This shit's ruining my life. He was being so real, and I was like, oh my god, like that's so relatable because it really, if you're reading it. Even if you read 5 of them a day, 2 of them a day, it's going to ruin your life. Like, genuinely. It really does. Because I had a taste of it, and I'm like...
There's people that say Shane Gillis isn't funny.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
I know.
That's why it's like... They don't even matter. Yeah. They don't even matter.
Yeah. I love my dad's response because I was, like, texting him about it, and he goes, Selena, read Beyonce's comments. You think everybody loves her, and she's Beyonce. And I was like, okay, period.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of them people don't even mean it. They just hope that somebody sees them.
They're just trying to be funny.
Yeah, they just hope
and I'm not gonna lie. The comments were fucking hilarious. Yeah. The comments about me were funny as hell. I've never been in a roast. Would never sign up.
You know what would be funny?
What?
If like your thing is just like not your thing, but if it was a thing where it's just like how I'm gonna get back at everybody in my comments. I'm gonna take the funniest ones and just take them on stage.
Well, that's it. You want to know what's so funny about
these are mine now. Yeah.
I'm literally doing a don't tell. Not doing so well, right? It's like 400 degrees inside of the building. So I'm having anxiety from being overheated. It's so hot in there. Yeah. I'm not doing good, right? I'm like barely holding on. Like it's getting bad. My one joke that everyone laughed really hard at was me saying a comment that someone said to my animal print joke. Yeah. And I was like, I told that joke one time and I just said someone said that. Biggest laugh of the night. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go kill myself now.
That just made it even worse.
Yeah, the fact that a keyboard warrior has gotten more laughs than me really sets me off. I'm about to crash out right now. Yeah. But I got Wawa to eat, so it's literally insane. Ohio, do they have Wawas there? What is even in Ohio?
We have BP, Citgo, Sheets.
What is a BP? Like Sheets. The gas station?
Yeah, BP. Yeah.
What's significant about that? That's just what y'all had?
No, I'm saying you said Wawa.
Oh, like BP has food?
They got chips.
They have chips? And a Citgo. I've seen Citgos before. Citgos have like hot things, right?
Yeah, like little taquitos and shit, but nothing like Wawa. Wawa's like a new concept.
The Citgo in Alabama has
She's
like
kind of got
has like biscuits and gravy.
It's like Love's.
Sheets.
Yeah, like,
I've never been there before.
They always got a car wash on the side of the sheets, and it's like it looks just like a Love's.
There's a car wash on the side
probably
of
owned by
there?
the same people.
Hell yeah. Did you go to, like, was there a lot of people that lived in your hometown?
Yeah, man. It was
a big city?
Not big, but it was it's never gonna exist again, man. That town is gone.
Really?
Yeah. It's like abandoned now. A lot of people moved out of it and shit.
Oh, why?
Because there's just no industry. There's no jobs there, and everybody just moved to like bigger cities and shit. Because everybody's trying to. I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be famous. Nobody wants to live in the small towns.
Nobody wants to do the mundane shit.
Make $60,000 a year. You know what I mean? And
shit, I kill to make $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
I actually would do anything to make that income. I really would actually have an OnlyFans just to make $60K a year, brother. I really would be just fine with $60,000 a year. No, that's actually crazy. I grew up in a really, really small town. Doing comedy was like something you only saw on TV. Like that was non-existent.
Right.
Any type of local talent didn't exist. Like sometimes the crackheads would host a concert on the like pond, but there would there's nothing. It's nothing. So when I moved to little ass Melbourne,
right,
everybody thinks it's small, but I'm like, this is the biggest city I've ever even like been in for more than a couple days.
This is like Miami and shit.
100%.
Yeah.
Like the fact that there's a Publix right down my road still doesn't seem real. Like it just doesn't exist.
You could probably start getting booked at like clubs for real.
What do you mean?
Like your Kill Tony credit, like out of state.
Yeah, but I just feel so weird doing that.
Hey.
You don't think so?
Lose that shit. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
If I went to someone and said I was on Kill Tony, you think that's...
Especially since you did good and your clips are viral. Like your jokes are going viral. They'll recognize you.
I did have a little clip that went viral.
Yeah, they'll recognize you. Especially in these small towns because they don't have, like you're saying, they don't have shit going on.
Yeah, that's true. The thing is like even like my hometown now is still like there's nothing there. There's
Kill
one
Tony
guy...
probably there. I bet they probably watch Kill Tony there.
Oh, 100%.
Kill Tony's like a small market show. That's what I'm realizing. Yeah. So it's like...
Yeah. It's a lot of people... Because I was watching Kill Tony years ago when there was not shit to do and there was nothing like, going on. And I remember seeing an old ass clip on Facebook a long ass time ago. And then I remember looking up the show and finding it on YouTube and shit. And that was like before. And nobody even knew what it was.
When you got on, did like people from your hometown hit you up like, yo, I can't believe
100%.
So what are you waiting on?
So many.
That's the confirmation right there.
Really?
Set the show up.
But this is...
Have you performed in your hometown yet?
No. You know how many... Jarri, you know how many people live there?
All you need is like 80...
There's like 10 people that live there.
10?
No.
Literally, there's no one.
I was going to say, if you...
Like 500 though.
Yeah? Oh, shit.
There's no one.
Well, then at least like 100 of them will show up.
Maybe.
Am I lying?
Maybe.
It'll be the biggest shit to happen.
I'm like, aren't you the one that stole your mom's car back in 2014?
And they'll be buying their tickets.
$10 tickets. 100 people, $10 tickets. You made a band, bring some shirts out there, sell some shirts, you'll make an extra $500.
Sell some shirts?
Yeah.
What would I sell? My face on it?
Your face, your
Really?
joke, the joke that went viral.
That's true. You can make a Selena merch line. It would just be Robitussin and honey with my label on it.
You could just put "rather be stealing my mom's car" on the shirt.
No, literally. Rather booked at the Jackson County Jail, brother. That's what I would put.
That'd go crazy.
Dude, you know what's so crazy about it is I've been trying to get my mugshot for probably 2 or 3 years now, and no luck. I've like tried to contact the clerk of court.
You're the only person that's mad that their mugshot is on
yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of it, and I'm not getting any luck. I need to. If you know how to get your mugshot from a long time ago in a bumfuck town for stealing from Walmart, please let me know.
That shit is
Drop
gone.
a tutorial.
That shit is gone.
Have you ever been arrested?
You might have to go to Walmart to get it. They don't hang the pictures up for stealing.
What if there's like literally a surveillance camera of me sobbing, crying?
That's even better.
With
than a mugshot.
Container of croissants in my hand.
Not croissants.
That was the only thing I paid for.
You went down. Oh,
I went downhill.
Literally. Keep it? That's funny.
Yeah. It was like I had a purse full of a bunch of random shit, but then bought a container of croissants, thinking that was going to like disguise the hundreds of dollars in my purse that I stole. That's funny. And just a movie Midsummer on Blu-ray DVD sticking out of my purse.
So what, they were watching you on the camera just stealing shit?
No, I think there weren't much. I don't think it was the camera. I think there was a secret shopper that was watching me because it was a random guy in like regular clothes that confronted me. So I'm assuming it was a secret shopper and he was watching me. But I also wasn't being discreet either. I was just like, I was just throwing the shit in there.
It's just a free world.
It's a free world, and honestly, it's mine for the taking. I'm pissed. I'm not happy with the way the economy's going. I'm like 17, 18 years old. I was 18. And yeah, and it just like, it happened so fast. Like before I knew it, I was literally sitting in the back of a cop car.
That's funny.
It was bad. I called my mom to tell her, and she like hung up because she thought I was pulling a prank.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And it like took the officer calling her from his phone to be like, no, your daughter is actually, like, we're at the jail now. She's not going to be able to talk to you until tomorrow.
That's crazy. She was mad?
Oh my God, she was pissed. And my mom doesn't really necessarily get mad. She just gets emotional. Like, she's just sobbing, crying, like, worried about me spending the night in jail. And I'm just asleep on the floor on a mat in front of a bunch of random women right by the toilet.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it was bad. With my fake eyelashes half on. Like, it was crazy.
And y'all gotta all use the toilet in front of each other just so one little room?
Yeah. I didn't shower, pee, eat anything for the whole time I was there. I was there for like overnight. It wasn't long, but still, I was like terror. I didn't sleep. I didn't do anything. I'm like looking like SpongeBob when he was like talking to himself with the penny, the napkin, whatever else. That was me.
That's crazy that they do people like that.
Dude, it's bad.
I don't understand why they treat people like animals and then they free them and then expect them to be better people.
Exactly.
Like, bro, you know I'm acting this way because I was treated like an animal my whole life, right?
No, literally.
Like, what the fuck?
You know I'm acting this way because I'm currently on Percocet. I don't know what's going on. Dude, it's literally crazy. So you post on Facebook a lot. You're really on Facebook like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back into my shit. Facebook. That's how I got into comedy. Is I just I post on Facebook, and
then you just told those jokes on stage.
Yeah, people were like, "Yo, you should do stand up," and I was like, "Okay, I'll do it."
Facebook came out in like 2012, did it not?
Nah, I ain't that old. Nah, that shit was out in like 04, 03.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, because it used to be like college students only, and then it got like cool in like 2012.
Yeah, that's where like everybody was at. The MySpace to Facebook shift.
I'm trying to get back like on that shit because I used to like post on Facebook like 15 times a day of like different.
I feel like you still
jokes.
do.
Yeah, but it don't really be jokes. I just be on there talking.
Yeah, it's constant all the time. We look at each other and we're like, bro, did you see what Jarri just posted? Because some of the stuff you say is so funny. It's hilarious.
It used to be so much better without the algorithm though. Like when there was no algorithm, I would get people from like Idaho on there like cussing me out and shit.
Dude, that's what's so annoying about social media these days is the algorithm is so insane.
Yeah,
like it's so I do marketing for a living and I barely understand it. It's so complicated. And it makes no sense.
Every 3 months.
Exactly. And it's different for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Like it's all different. TikTok is one of those things where it really is just luck of the draw. Like there is no like formula for TikTok.
That's part of the reason why I never really like gave a fuck about TikTok. Everybody's
now it's going away.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now it's getting banned. And I'm like, literally, whatever app comes out next, if I don't get famous from that shit, I'm going to kill everybody and their mother. I swear to God. I'm over this.
I'm getting on that shit immediately.
Yeah.
There's so many
whatever it is, I better blow up because I'm sick of this shit. I've been through too much. Flappy Bird, Vine, I'm sick of this. If I don't blow up on the next app that there is and I don't get to pay all my bills from sitting at home and making videos, I'm done.
Bruh,
I'm crashing out.
They're making so much money on these apps.
Dude, they're making so much money. So much money. These girls that are doing like the makeup, they're like makeup gurus and stuff and influencers on TikTok. It's ridiculous how much money they make.
That's why I hate when people hate on the TikTok comics because it's like, you know, there's somebody acting like an AI on that bitch making 10 grand a month right now, just going, hello, thank you for the rose, and they're making and you can, and somebody's doing comedy,
and they just bought a mansion in Beverly Hills. Like they don't give a fuck about you. Like it's crazy. Do you use AI?
Nah.
Well, how do you feel about AI? Is it scary?
It is, man, but it's like, what can you do, man?
Yeah,
we're doing like society's over. Like we had a good
dude.
run.
We're so screwed.
The 90s were cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we had a good finale, but it's over, bro.
Yeah, I was 2 years old.
It really is over.
No, dude,
like,
it is. It really is.
It's done, bro. Like
whenever we say none of this matters, it really doesn't matter. Dude. We are so screwed. Yeah. I'm waiting till the day that China just runs us over with a bulldozer, and that's just it for us.
And they're saying that's like really what's supposed to happen.
I've been watching The Walking Dead for a couple months now. I watch like several episodes a day, and I'm just like, dude, this is about to be us. Like we're so screwed.
I love movies like that, like the dystopian future shit.
Yeah,
like, that's like
super
my favorite
crazy
genre of like.
I love people like always think I'm so weird whenever I get nerded out about it, but the reason why I love The Walking Dead is because it's so drawn out. There's so many seasons and so many episodes that it's a long process. but I love like apocalyptic survival movies in general because I really love shows that do a great job at like portraying what happens to a human being when you're put in pure survival mode.
Exactly.
It's nuts.
Exactly.
Like the things that people are genuinely capable of and the things that they would do to survive is so fucking scary.
They turn back into animals.
Like to think that we're so normal, we would never, but if we were put like in the middle of the woods, you haven't eaten in
6
10
months.
days and you have no water and you like, it's either kill your sister or, you know, you die. Bro, some people would kill their siblings.
Right.
Like it's nuts. It's so crazy.
That's why you don't respect people who went to war until you like actually look into it. I remember being a young man, like my whole life I just thought like military was like you know, ain't nothing cool. You signed up for that shit, whatever. I ain't gotta do, you know, I'm not gonna say thank you for nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you got that one homie you went to high school with who leaves and comes back 4 years later and he's like, bro, you don't understand. And you're just, and it builds this crazy, like, I remember being 19, chilling with one of my friends and being like, bro, you did what? They were doing what? Like, you had to see.
No, I had that realization when I saw the first picture of Trenchfoot. Back in Trenchfoot? Pull up a picture of Trenchfoot. Okay, so Trenchfoot, you know, like during World War I and II, right? So whenever they were at war, they would dig these, like, pardon the history buffs if I'm telling this wrong, but they would build trenches, and that's how they would move back and forth on the war line. That's how they would stay below and move back and forth. The trenches would get filled with mud and water, and their feet would be soaking in that for weeks. Jarri, I'm talking weeks. And their foot would end up with trench foot.
Absolutely.
No, pull up. No, pull up World War II trench foot.
No.
Dude, it's actually insane.
I believe you.
And I remember I was in school,
different pictures.
and my teacher literally made us like look at a PowerPoint presentation on trench foot.
Why are now all of the images blocked? Don't do that.
Dude, it's trench foot's bad.
Regular trench foot, nothing was blocked. I put World War II trench foot.
I'm telling you, it's a different monster.
No way.
Trench foot's bad. I've seen some people that have 2025 trench foot.
Oh, no, I'm not showing anybody that.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah. I knew that the world was fucked up and something was going on when I saw trench foot.
And they like found a way to get people to commit to that.
Yeah. Their skin would just basically
it looks like a pig foot.
It looks like bunnies. You know when they show you like a mummy?
Yeah. Because their feet are sitting in water and mud for weeks on end.
It's the power of marketing, man. You can convince people to like.
This is trench foot propaganda.
It's crazy, bro.
What kind of movies do you like? What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is City of God.
City of God.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Have you seen it? No. Oh, y'all are so lucky.
Who's in it?
Y'all are so lucky that y'all get to watch that movie for the first.
Is it really good?
It's literally the best movie ever made, and it's not even in English. That's how good it is.
Oh, I love movies that aren't in English.
You have to read the shit. It came out in like 2003. It's based in
an 2003 foreign country movie.
Yeah,
always the best.
Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah, Brazil. So it's like little black kids, little Hispanic looking. I mean, obviously they're all like Brazilian and shit, but it's just interesting, like culturally, like how Brazil is set up. But I don't want to get too much away. But it's about this kid that he wants to be a photographer. And he's stuck in the middle of like this gang war.
Okay.
And he's just like documenting it, taking pictures, his own story. It's like intertwined. But that's why movies are so trash to me now, man. Because like the way they told the story was so dope. They would introduce a character and they'd be like, "Oh, that's Knockout Ned," but we don't need to know about him now. And then 45 minutes later, the whole movie is about him. Okay. But it's just like you know what I'm saying? The foreshadowing shit is like, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, man. That shit is so good, bro.
She asked you, I was like, let him finish.
Yeah.
Dog, that shit is so good.
I love movies that change your life. Like movies that change your perspective on the world are so crazy.
And they're supposed to be like rebooting it or some shit, but I'm like, man, just it's good. It's good how it is, man. Like everything.
That's how I felt about the movie The Platform. Have you ever seen that movie? It's a foreign movie as well. I believe it's Russian or German. I don't really know exactly. But it's about like, so it's a world that's like ours, but instead of prison and jail, they send these inmates to a thing called the platform. And it's 100 floors long. And each floor, it determines your crime. So like the 100th floor is like the worst of the worst crime you could possibly commit. And the floor number 1 is like the not as bad crimes. And there's a platform every day that they send to level 1, and it goes all the way up to the 100th floor. and it stops at each platform for like 10, 15 minutes. Whenever it gets to platform 1, when they send it out, it's full of food. It's enough food for everybody in the building, right? But the people on like 80 to 100 don't eat. Like, they don't ever get food because the people down low are so greedy. And so it's so like, I don't even know how to explain it. It really educates you on like what starvation does to the brain and how people deal with starving to death. Like, genuinely, you have to sit in pain because there's nothing you can do to end it or kill yourself, and you're starving. And it takes human beings, a little bit of time to starve to death. Like, to be in pain for 8 to 10 days, constant pain, can't sleep, can't think about anything else but how hungry you are, what that does. And on each floor, there's 2 people. So there's cellmates. It's crazy what they do to each other. But it also talks about greed and gives you like a perspective on like, if these people weren't so greedy, everyone would be able to have enough food every day. And it gives you the perspective of both. And then also like the inmates are experiments, and the people that are running it are running a experiment on the human brain and what that does.
From a communist country?
I don't.
That director is hiding, bro.
I don't know exactly.
Russia and you made that movie, bro.
But it's crazy, and there's a second one as well. Like, they actually just made a second one recently.
That's kind of dope. I wonder if that's like an analogy on life, because like the people at the first floor are like the super rich.
Yep. That's exactly what the analogy is. There's so many things it's telling you all at once, and it's so interesting. I love shit like that.
Trickle-down method's broken.
Yeah.
Because people always talk about like the accumulation of wealth and it'll trickle down because they open businesses and they pay people. Bro, that's just not how it works.
Yeah.
Accumulation of wealth is so much bigger. Have y'all ever seen Battle Royale? Battle Royale is a Japanese movie from the year 2000. Bro, literally, it's exactly what it says. It was like before ever Fortnite or anything was out, but they basically take all the bad kids from a high school. Like, it's basically like, instead of going to an alternative school, if you get expelled, you get put in a room until they fill it up with 20 people, and then they make it a game show. And all the kids from this bad school get put on an island with guns and stuff everywhere hidden, and they have to kill it. And like the final person gets to live.
Oh, so it's like kind of Hunger Games, but for bad kids.
Exactly.
Hunger Games, but for foster kids.
Way before. It was way before, and it's like in Japanese, and it was so like profound. And then Hunger Games, they waited 15 years, and they acted like they were the ones that came up with it. Right. But Battle Royale was a Japanese book, like way before. So I totally understand what you're saying, because some movies that like you don't need to understand them to be able to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The message is there.
Shottas, the Jamaican movie, for like a normal average American, they can't you can't follow that movie. Like, you have to there's so many cultural elements to it.
Yeah.
That like if you watch it, you can still understand like the whole story, and it's still profound.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I love movies and shows that do that to you. I've been watching this one show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Called Why Would You Ask That? I feel like I've talked about it all the time. It's called Why Would You Ask That? And it's like, have you ever watched the podcast Soft White Underbelly? Where that guy interviews like crackheads from Skid Row?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
You know what? I heard of that.
Yeah, that'll change your life too. That alone will change your life. But it's this show on Netflix that they have like 5 seasons now. They came out with it a long time ago, but they interview people like in different categories. So like there's one episode that's just Down syndrome people, one episode that's just wheelchair users, blind, deaf, comedians, old people, like all these different types of people, homeless, domestic violence survivors, suicide attempt survivors, like all kinds of people from all walks of life that have this one specific thing in common, and they ask them questions that like everyone wants to know. Like, wheelchair users, how do you feel about people that aren't in wheelchairs using the wheelchair bathroom? You know what I mean? Like shit like that, but then it gets really deep, and it like, dude, it's changed my life. Like my whole perspective on people is different now. It's crazy.
Well, like you're more empathetic towards people?
More empathetic, but also like just things that I never even understood. Like there was one specific that really like was like, damn. One of them was the homeless episode. Like all these people are homeless and they talk about what happened to them, why, all this stuff. And then the refugee one. There's one about like refugees that it takes place in Australia. So they're talking about going to Australia, but America takes refugees as well. So they talk about like what happened in their country, why the treatment that they've gotten since they got to the country. They speak you know, they're educated, they speak the language, all that, and they're still treated like fucking shit for leaving a war zone. Like, and it makes me crazy think about how, like, America's so, like, twisted with that shit, how we treat people that are leaving countries that, like, bombs are going off, and if they do not leave right now, they're going to die. Like, that severe of a situation. It's crazy.
Right. And then they get here and people are like, oh, no.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, man. It's weird. I try not to even, like, I only got enough space to think about me.
No, literally.
I only got enough energy to think about me and my family, man. But it is, like, a lot of fucked up shit out here, man. There's, obviously not to put him out here like that or whatever, but there's this kid I went to high school with. He's like homeless now, and he was just like a foster kid. You know what I mean? You age out of the orphanage, and then you're on the streets. And like, I see him from time to time. I feel really bad, but there's nothing I can do. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing I can do.
I was a foster kid, bro. It blew me away. Like, when I was 19, like, I had my own apartment and I had my own job, bro. And I, like, would meet people from the system, and they'd be like, yo, come speak and, like, tell your story. And I'm like, what's different about me? And they're like, bro, like, just being in college and having a job and, like, having your own car and, like, not living with somebody and not in the streets, bro. Like, please, because I was in foster care since I was 12. So, like, a lot of my foster brothers just didn't do nothing with their life, live off their baby moms or whatever, bro. It's bad.
Yeah, it's definitely it's tough, like, living in a world that doesn't really support people like that. It really is hard, and, like, it's hard to watch people go through that because they're just dealing with the cards that they were dealt of life. Like, you know what I mean? It's tough.
I feel like for men too, like an important thing for men, I feel like it's kind of understated, is like, you really do need an example of, like, what it is to be, like, a hardworking, like, self-efficient man. Because if you just got a bunch of bums in your family, like, you're gonna be a bum. You've never seen what it looks like for somebody to wake up and go to work 10 hours a day and then come home and, like, you know what I'm saying?
Especially when you have children, like, it really changes your perspective of, like, what it takes to be a parent too. Like, every day you're a parent, and, like, what that really does to a person and what that takes alone. Forget the job, forget everything else, just being a parent, not having a good example is tough for a lot of people. And then they damage other kids, and you know what I mean? It's just like a constant cycle.
Because they think all this dysfunctional shit is, like, cool and okay, but it's like, nah, bro, like, you're gonna raise a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And
we live in a world where, like, self-awareness and therapy and, you know, education, all those things exist, like, for free sometimes, and it's all over the internet. So I feel like nowadays it's hard to, like, make an excuse because you can fix it. Like, we live in a world where we are breaking that type of stuff, and it's awesome. It's cool to see. I feel like it's important. What shows do you have going on? You can plug anything, plug your social media.
I'm doing the Funny Bone February 16th.
Okay, love. Are you headlining it?
Nah, I'm featuring for Fat and Funny.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Hell yeah, that's going to be so sick. That's awesome.
Tay's on there too, right?
Yeah. It's
that's so cool.
Will Mills, Kevin Dean, and Jay Allen.
Okay.
Yeah. And, I mean, Orlando shows, that's pretty much it. I'm working on starting a Wednesday now. World exclusive.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm starting a Wednesday 200-seater, full liquor, bar, all that shit. I want a room where I can pay people, man. Like, and pay people where it's, like, worth it. Like, I don't know. I'm bouncing it off the wall. No Diddy. I've been, like, I wanna do Chronic a pay room, but once I do that, I'm not gonna make no money off it. But it's like, and I'm not really paying. Like, I want, like, to pay people where it's, like, worth it, bro. You know what I'm saying? You take this shit seriously, so I can start having expectations of the comedians on the show, because it's hard for me to be like, bro, you sucked. Like, you're ruining the show. Like, what are you doing? Why are you bullshitting? But it's like, these are, like, little bullshit little rooms, you know what I mean? Like, but once I start paying people, there's, like, going to be, like, a heightened level of accountability.
Yeah, there's a structure and there's an expectation that you get to have, and, like, it's just it's a upscale show. It's a higher tier of things.
Yeah, so I'm going to do it on a Wednesday, so I don't, because, I mean, I'm not gonna be here most weekends, and because I don't want to have to, like, compete with, like, the weekend shows. Yeah. But there can be, like, a huge Wednesday. That's something that I'm seeing, like, traveling and shit. Like, a lot of the best rooms that are out there are on college campuses.
Yeah.
They're on the campus. They have a Wednesday open mic in Madison, Wisconsin, and their open mic sells out. They do $5 tickets, and it's 300 people. And
it's at a college campus? That's so smart.
It's an open mic, bro.
Yeah. That's really smart. I mean? That's so cool.
Like, it's out there. it can be done. It's just about doing it. That's one of the things with Orlando is that like there's so much other shit going on that like comedy is like the last thought in people's heads when they want to start putting events and shit together. This the Fat Funny show that I'm doing, it's by these like 2 groups of club promoters and shit. And I've been telling them for like years, like, yo, y'all need to get into this comedy shit because like, you know, so hopefully it does well so they can see like, yeah, bro, you can make some money on this shit. It's really a cheat code, bro. Like that's something I used to do. I used to do my show from like 8 to 10 and then I would do the after party right after. So it's 2 events and you're getting paid. I booked Billy Sorrells for a show, and then I had him do the after party and hosting it. So it's like they're making more money, you're making more money. The brand is out there. Right. People that don't want to go to the club will come to the comedy show. People that don't want to come to the comedy show will come to the club. Like, it's
you're reaching like 2 markets of people, 2 different types, like still making money, and it's fun as fuck. Bro, so it's like
the blueprint, bro. Like, like that's obviously it's like work and shit, but essentially you're getting paid to hang out.
That's sick. Yeah, plug your social media too, Instagram. It'll be in the description.
Jarri Knows, JarrikNows on all platforms.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you got to come. Thanks so much for actually coming
too.
And you didn't mean the no.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe you fell for it.
You have to go like this. This is how we say bye. It's like the peace out. You have to go like... Bye.
How we do it?
Okay, don't pull up gang signs. I'll be careful.
You're so close to him. That's the problem. Yeah, there, you got it.
Watermelon goblin size of King Kong. Watermelon goblin size of King Kong. Glasses shattering, million fractions on my face. I can't seem to put them back together in one place. Fractured on my fingers, swollen tongue is out of taste. Cut down all my trees, I'm catching monsters by the name.